Hello everyone, it is time for a good old-fashioned book haul and I have so many exciting books to show you. I feel like I don't normally buy that many books in like a short amount of time, and then I always end up just showing them in vlogs, and I don't tend to do like big book hauls all at once. But over the past like 2-3 months I have accumulated quite a few books. I was kind of on a book buying, not like ban, but I was trying to like, take it slow. And so like over Christmas and before that, I actually didn't buy that much, but I think the past like month especially, I tried to let myself buy some more, and I also got a few little gifts. Yeah, so I have a lot to show you, so I'm just gonna shut up and dive straight in, and yeah, let's talk about some beautiful, beautiful books. And let me know if you'd like to see more book hauls. And I could just do smaller ones as well, but this is not really a small one, so let's dive in. So the first book that I have here is The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. I absolutely love Christina Forrest. I have talked about her before. If you didn't know, she doesn't just write adult romance, she also writes YA, which she did first and I also read first. But this is her second adult romance. I adored the first one, and I cannot wait for this one. I think it's like a friends to lovers marriage of convenience situation. Ooh, Second Chance. I don't exactly remember, but I, again, loved The Neighbor Favor, which is the first adult romance, and they're companions. You can read them separately, but I do highly recommend both. Or I mean, like, I recommend the first one. I'm sure I'm gonna recommend this one as well. So this is definitely on my high TBR, and I am actually gonna do a vlog where I read some of my most anticipated releases by authors that I love very soon. So stay tuned for that. And this will definitely be in that. So that's the first book. Then we have another beautiful pink book by an author that I love, which is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I adore Kennedy Ryan. I'm so excited for this book. She's incredible, and her books are so special and emotional and lovely and just absolutely breathtaking. And if you have not read her books, definitely check them out. This is actually also a second book in like a companion series. So adored the first one. Again, highly recommend that one, and I'm sure this one as well. So then I have That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, and so this is in like a fantasy romance series, also companions. This is the third book. And did I say it's by Kimberly Lemming? I think I didn't. And so this is the third book, and Kimberly Lemming writes very fun, like funny, entertaining, lighthearted fantasy romances. And so this is the third one. I think I liked the first one the most, then this one, and then the second one. They're very fun and lighthearted and super quick reads. The first two, I think, at least the first one is like a novella length. This one is still short though. It's I think like 300 pages. And I highly recommend if you would like some very fun fantasy romances. If you are just like me and you don't like a lot of like violence and high stakes in fantasy books, but you want the like magical vibes with romance, definitely check Kimberly Lemming out. Then I have The Catch by Amy Lee, which is actually, this is another book in a series, but like, just again, if you are not familiar with how romances work, almost every single contemporary romance series are companions, so you can read them separately, you can read them in whatever order you want. There's like connections and the characters appear, but you never have to read them unless it's, like a normal series, which is usually not the case. So I read the first book and I enjoyed that. I also have the second one and then this one, but this was on sale, and so I just grabbed it. The cover is cute, and I think this is like the city girl, small town guy trope, which I always enjoy. Then I have More Than a Best Friend by Emma R. Albin, which is one of my anticipated reads of this year as well, but it is a new to me author, and I of course love this cover, and I'm excited about this. I think it will be a little bit different than like the normal historical romance that I read. I think I didn't even say this is a historical romance, even though I think you can tell based on the cover, And so this is a sapphic, I think, friends to lovers romance, where it's kind of like a Parent Trap, but make it historical, and like they're not sisters, where they're trying to like set up their parents, like like each like one, what, yeah. And as they do that, they fall in love. And I think they want to set up their parents so that they don't have to marry anyone or something like that. I don't exactly know, but I think it's going to be very fun and I'm excited for it. Then I have another sapphic romance, but this one is a contemporary one, and I actually already read this and I adored it. I'm not going to tell you much about it because it is going to be in that vlog that I mentioned, but this was everything to me. It is so sweet, it's emotional, it's so beautiful. It's kind of like a quieter romance in like the most beautiful way. If you have been really craving like a tender, very like deeply emotional romance, you need to check this out. It's about Julie and Elle, and Julie teaches basketball in high school and Elle is kind of like a retired basketball player, and she ends up helping Julie with the high school team, like be the assistant coach, and at the same time they kind of start becoming friends and it grows into more. It is just so sweet, it is beautiful, it is incredible, it has incredible depression representation as well, and it is just absolutely a must read. It also has like a very special kind of like foster parenting relationship, and Elle is basically the foster parent of one of Julie's students, and it is just beautiful. It is absolutely incredible, and I highly recommend it. Another reason why I've been letting myself buy more physical books recently is I've been in such a strong physical reading mood, like the strongest I have in such a long time, and it feels so good, and I just want to make the most of it, and I want to let myself buy more books again. And so you will actually hear me say that I've read a lot of these. So let's talk about another that I've read, actually, or two. Okay, so I have two Ali Hazelwood books. I have Check and Mate and I have Bride. So I have read both of these. I have loved both of these. And I have vlogged about I definitely vlogged about this one in the vlog where I went to see my family. It should be out by the time that you're watching this. I think it'll be the last video before this one. So I talked about this in there and I adored it. It is Ali's first YA romance. There's chess. We have Mallory, who has always been really good at chess, but she kind of dropped it because of some things that happened in her family. And then we have Nolan, who is like the #1 chess player, and she ends up beating him at like this random game, and he is super impressed, and everyone is like in shock, and it throws her into the world of chess. And I think that sounds incredibly boring, but it actually is absolutely wonderful. I loved it. I can't believe, I said in that vlog, I can't believe Ali Hazelwood made me care about chess. Like at this point, I can believe it because I love her books so much, but it was still like, you know, surprise. And I loved it. And there's also bisexual representation. It deals with grief and mental health, and it is just really beautiful and fun and amazing. So I highly recommend that. And then I read Bride, which I also kind of vlogged about it, but I'm not actually sure which vlog it's gonna be in, so you will definitely not have seen it before, but I loved it. It is her first paranormal romance for a change, and I thought it was wonderful. I loved Misery. I loved Misery, the main character. Absolutely iconic. She is incredible. And I also loved Lo, which is the hero. The names, they're so funny, but absolutely adored this. And I definitely hope that Ali's gonna write more paranormal romances, because like, while I've heard some people say that they think it reads as contemporary, I did not feel that way. I thought it was actually really like paranormal, and there's so many like other books coming out that feel contemporary but are called paranormal, but I did not see this as that, because there's quite a lot of like danger and angst, and it feels, you know, she's a vampire, he's a werewolf, like there's a lot of supernatural elements, but at the same time it is like accessible and fun and quick to read and not super overwhelming. So I don't know, but I loved it. So then I have 3 books that I got on my trip, and the first one is one of my also most anticipated releases that is also going to be in that vlog, which is The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Claiborne. I am like speechless about, you know, having this book in my hands. I have been waiting for this like so desperately, and I saw it at the bookstore. I didn't even expect it, and I immediately got it because like of course I had to. And the plot of this sounds very interesting, like very much unlike the first book in this. This is actually also another second book in a fucking series. Again, companion, you know, but the first one is Georgie All Along. I think I have it. Oh yeah, it's just right here. And I adored Georgie All Along, and it was everything to me, like literally one of my all-time favorite books. And I immediately was like, okay, Kate Claiborne is one of my new favorite authors, because like this just took over my heart and made me feel seen and made me feel everything I could ever want to feel, and it was perfection. And so needless to say, I had very high expectations for this, and I'm intrigued by the plot, because it sounds like this is gonna be like a different vibe, where the main character is a hairstylist. She is raising her younger half-sister and keeping a shocking secret. And she's gonna search for their mother. There's some kind of like a podcast something, and I guess the romance is gonna be with a handsome producer. So yeah, I feel like there's like a lot, you know, included in the plot, like some family dynamics and, you know, her trying to uncover some kind of like mystery or something. And, you know, those things are not something that I normally care about, but I think, again, based on how much I loved Georgie all along, I just think it's gonna be incredible. And I'm excited to see how Kate Claiborne writes a book like that. So I'm sorry if that made no sense. I am not good at explaining synopses when I haven't read the book yet. So I'm so excited about this. Yes, yeah, I have definitely said excited or exciting 1,000 times already in this video, but it's just like my favorite word, you know? It's not actually my favorite word, but it's definitely probably the one that I use the most when I film. So then we have another book that I actually already read, and that is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. I also read it in that vlog, and so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it is a sports romance. It's a hockey romance, and there's fake dating. They're fake dating because basically the heroine's ex joins the team that the hero is on, and she's actually like the physiotherapist for the team. The shitty ex joins the team, and both of them hate him, and so they decide to, like, you know, date, not like to make him jealous to like get back together or anything like that, but to make him jealous and like piss him off, and to show him like, you know, I don't give a shit about you, and, you know, I've moved on for someone better and that kind of thing. And it is very fun. It is definitely like one of the like just super entertaining, fast-paced, steamy, fun romances. And I needed something like this. You know, I've been reading a lot of emotional, wonderful books, and sometimes I just need a break from feeling so many feelings, and I just want something chill and, you know, easy to read and digest, and this was definitely that. So yeah. Then I have actually another book that I read. Look at me actually reading the books. Like, I cannot believe it, but I'm so happy about it. And that is With You Forever by Chloe Leese. Oh my lord. I will also talk about this book in that vlog, but I have to tell you a little bit at least, which is that I adore Chloe Leese. She is now everything to me, and this series is everything to me. I already loved the first two books, but they weren't like completely all-time favorite material, just absolutely incredible romances. Then I read the third one, and I was absolutely blown away. It was like 5 stars, perfection, incredible. And so then I was like, okay, I need to buy the rest physically, and so I got this, and I loved it even more somehow. Like, this is also kind of like, this actually is like a fake marriage. Or actually it's not a fake marriage. They actually get married for him to get inheritance to fix this like family house that the heroine is actually supposed to stay in for a little while, but she doesn't know that he's gonna be there, and also she doesn't know that the house needs so much fixing because he didn't tell anyone. And so it's forced proximity. He is very much like, you know, he isolates himself a lot. He's very like a loner type hero, and he is just like absolutely incredible. I love him. I love her. I love them together. There's also, they have a dog. They might also find a kitten along the way, like, you know, and he tries not to care about her, but they both actually have had a crush on each other for like 2 years, and they tried to suppress it and hide it. They thought it would never be requited and shit like that. Like, it is absolute perfection. It also is set in like this small town where, you know, they're together alone. It is perfect. Like, please read the series. Please read this. I loved it with everything in me, and I, again, absolutely desperately need the rest of the series physically. I do think I will buy the US covers because I think they're a lot more pretty, and so I will keep this, and eventually I think I'm just gonna get all of them in the US editions, but I adore this, and you all need to read it. So then I have 2 Olivia Dade books, and one of them is All the Feels, of course, by Olivia Dade. I have been trying to get this book for so long in the US edition, because I already got the first one and the third one, but this one, The UK edition does not have this illustration by Lenny Kaufman, and I just needed to have that. And I've been trying to get it and I wasn't able to, and then I finally somehow managed, and I'm so happy to have it in my hands. So I have the whole series now. I read the first book, and so now I'm obviously gonna read this and then the third one, and I'm so excited. So yes. And the other book is At First Bite, which I'm actually reading right now, and it's hitting me in the feels very hard, and it is incredible. We have kind of like a rivals to lovers romance where the hero broke the heroine's engagement with his brother, and obviously there's like a lot that happened in the background that the heroine doesn't necessarily see at first, and they actually met at their engagement party and they didn't know who each other were, and they had a special connection. And then, you know, that whole shit with the engagement happened, and now she's actually living next door to him because she bought the house with the intention to give it to like her ex-fiance, and that did not work out. And so they're neighbors and things happen. It is deeply emotional and so sweet. Like, while the plot, you know, starts like lighthearted and fun, it actually becomes a lot more like emotional, and they connect on such a deep level, and I love them so much. This also deals with depression, and it does deal with it in kind of an intense way that is quite painful, but I love this book so much. It means everything to me already, and I will definitely be finishing it tonight, and I'm also vlogging about it, so you will hear even more thoughts when that happens. Then I have another book that I've started, and that is Knockout by Sarah MacLean. So I only got to page 104 actually. That's more than I thought it was, and I love it also, and this is the third book in a series. What is it with all the series? I didn't even realize, because I don't really see, you know, the romance books like that since it's not a normal series. I love this series so much. If you want to read historical romance about like super independent heroines who like, you know, like they do a lot of good for the world that's like involves some crimes, but like, you know, for the good of the people. And, you know, they're just like absolutely iconic. Like, honestly, I don't even know what else to say. Like, they call themselves the Hell's Bells, and they're literally like known around town like anonymously, and the romances are so incredibly swoon-worthy and like romantic and steamy and fun and absolutely perfect. Like, I have no notes. Like, they're perfection. And this book so far, it feels exactly like that. So if you have not read the series, please pick it up. And we're on to the last 3 books that, actually no, we're not on to the last 3 books. I have 2 books that my aunt got me in New York. So I already read one again. But I'm actually not going to tell you anything about it, because I vlogged about it, and it was like the main book that I talked about in that vlog, so you will hear my thoughts there. But it is Stay With My Heart by Tashi Bhuiyan, and I first of all loved this cover, and I was intrigued because Tashi Bhuiyan once mentioned something that like if you loved Julie and the Phantoms, you absolutely need to read this book or something. I love Julie and the Phantoms, and I will forever grieve the fact that they fucking canceled it, you know, after the first season. But this book, also perfection, no notes, and you will hear more in that vlog very soon. It should be the video after this one, and this copy is also signed, which my aunt didn't even see, and the second that I got it, you know, I saw this little thing here, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's signed, and she was like, what? So thank you to her. I will forever cherish this copy. And the other book is another very pretty one, and that is Give Me a Sign by Anna Sorrentino. I have not really heard a lot about this, but first of all, I love this cover. It has deaf representation in it, and I've been really wanting to read more books with disability representation in them. And it's supposed to be a heartwarming and tender coming of age story, and, you know, about like finding yourself, and it says summer camp vibes, heartfelt connections, and characters you instantly root for. The last blurb says, a thoughtful exploration of deaf culture, how we communicate and connect, and what it means to belong. So I didn't read the plot, but I think I don't want to, because that is just my thing, okay? It's just my thing, and I have noticed I'm not alone in that. So let me know actually if you prefer knowing the exact synopsis before reading, or if you just want to read, you know, if you just want to know some like general vibes or whatever, or if you just go in not knowing anything. Please let me know. And so I'm so excited for this, and I also love the fact that like this is such a spring cover. and I will definitely be reading it this April, and I cannot wait. And we're now on to the last 3 books, which I got today. And so the first 2 I got at a store called The Works, which has a lot of like discounted books. It doesn't have actually like that many books, but they're all discounted. Usually it's just like the most popular books, and then it like changes a lot, you know, because it's not like a bookstore. But I have found some gems in there, including Best of Luck by Kate Claiborne. I was in shock when I found this. It was literally fucking £250. Like, that is absolutely nothing. That is the price of an ebook, you know? And even cheaper, honestly. And I love Kate Claiborne, if I did make that clear. And I think I actually did know that her books are getting published in the UK, like the series specifically, but I haven't seen it. I didn't really expect to like find it at the bookstore, but I definitely did not expect to find it in this store, and I am so excited to have it. So this is actually also the 3rd book in a series. I listened to the first one on audio, and I could swear I did the second one as well, but I don't have it on Goodreads, so I don't know what happened there. I definitely haven't read this one though. But yeah, this says that he's a distraction and her best friend's brother. So I'm excited. I also don't really want to know anything about this. This whole series actually follows 3 friends who all kind of like won the lottery together, and then it's like follows that and how their lives are changed or not changed by that, and they're all also just like so heartfelt and emotional and beautiful and lovely, just like every single book by Kate Claiborne that I've read so far. And she just has a special magic, and I will never have enough, so I'm excited to have that. The other book is Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. So I think this came out like either at the beginning of this year or the end of last year, and this cover is so cute and so unique, and I think the story is also going to be quite unique. And I've been thinking the majority of this haul is contemporary romance, but I have been thinking that I really want to expand in the rest of this year, and I really just want to read more genres again. I used to read a lot more genres, and I don't anymore, and I really just want to change that. And while this is contemporary romance, I feel like it is, you know, like an adventure jungle kind of some kind of situation. And it says that it's Romancing the Stone meets Indiana Jones in this thrilling adventure romance, adventure, intrigue, and steamy romance. So, ooh, it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be nemesis to lovers. They're archaeologists, I think, both of them. And yeah, so I'm excited. It's definitely unique from like what I normally read, and I will hopefully like it. And the last but not fucking least, I got Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This book I thought would be at the Works store since the first one was, but it has not been for weeks since it came out, and I saw it at the normal bookstore today, and I was just like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Like, I would pay for this even like twice the normal amount, because I adored Done and Dusted, and which is the first book. This is another fucking second book. Like, how did that happen? Actually, that is so random, but yeah, I adored Done and Dusted, and Lila Sage just posted that the series has been picked up for movie rights, and I'm literally speechless, and I'm so excited. Literally like cowboy romances, small town vibes. I adored the first book, like I just said. I'm sure I'm gonna love this as well. Like, I'm ready to devour it today, and you're telling me that we're gonna see it in movies. Like, that sounds so exciting, and I am so happy because there's actually been quite a lot of romances the past like maybe half a year that got the rights picked up, and obviously doesn't always mean that it's actually gonna work out, and it might take a long time, but I still have hope that we're gonna get a lot of amazing adaptations, and it gives me a little bit more hope for the movie industry, because I'm like, if there's one thing that can fix all the bullshit they've been doing, it is books, you know? So, you know, obviously there's like a lot more work to be done, but I don't know, maybe hopefully we could be on the right track, you know, to getting more published and getting more diversity as well, and all those things, of course. But that is not what this video is about. So with that, I am going to shut up, but let me know what books you bought recently, and if you made it this far in the video, leave a horse emoji down below just to celebrate the cowboy romance renaissance. And I actually don't know if it's a renaissance, because I don't know if it ever was like that popular. I feel like it's been getting more popular recently, but who cares? I need to shut up. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye.